let's get into part 2 of TTRPG Actual Play Assemble. This will be characters and world building. Now, last time I talked about season structure, and we took the idea of a movie script and broke it down into 3 acts. You can have more than 3 acts, that's fine. But basic 3 acts, you have, and then a couple episodes at the beginning, kind of your introduction. Then you have your middle bit, and then a couple episodes that are your end bit. So the middle bit's the longest. So if you had 8 episodes, you would do 2 for your intro, 4 for your act 2, and then 2 at the end to wrap things up for the season. This is the basic idea. It can go a little longer than that, and maybe that point isn't at the exact start of that episode. Maybe it takes a little bit into that episode to get to it. It's fine. It's, whatever you need to do to pull it out. So suggested structure. What I want to do for this talk, let's talk about world building and characters, and how, when you're thinking about a show, how your players can help inform the world and help you build that show. And one of the most useful things that D&D provides, or any game, or most games have some sort of background options. Here's the ones available in the free rules for D&D. And so someone picks Acolyte. Where did they serve? What god? What does that ask the player who chose that background? What god do they serve? What does that look like? And how does that look like in your world? Where are these little cells and things like that? Or if they're a sage, where do they study? What library did they come from? And now suddenly you have a group of sages that live somewhere in your world, and a manor, maybe, or maybe you're at some sort of monastery that you're studying books and scrolls if you're a sage. Where are these places, and who are these people? And that can all be in the background, right? And so it's true with, if you use 2014 5e or 2024 5e, except in 2024, it now gives you, that's how you get your ability score and a tool of proficiency and more equipment, things like that. So any TTRPG that you put background dots into or anything, you can ask questions in those backgrounds and have those answers from your players be part of your world. And, if you have rivals to, let's say, one temple doesn't like another, well, whose side is your acolyte character on when they enter that town? And then suddenly, your show has that much more to go on. Now, a lot of these things you can also use in a game, or in a home session, if you will. And you can do the same thing, when asking about the species. Did they grow up in a town like Waterdeep, where there's just multiple people? Were they, are you a gnome and you're sort of a forest gnome and you're in your forest with other gnomes? What does that look like? Well, now you have a forest in your campaign, in your show, where all these gnomes live. Let your players help you do some of the world building, and you may even change what you had planned based on their answers. Remember, for an actual play, we can be loose with structure and things. We can move things around. It's okay. It's okay if the story changes as you go. That's fine. If it doesn't actually add up to where you want to go, where you want it to go, but it's close or it's a good point, still just think about the season structure again and go, okay, this isn't quite what I wanted at the end. I didn't think I thought they'd be fighting this person, but now they're fighting this person. But this still makes a good point in which to switch over into the next act, right? And because we're not a solidly scripted show, we're kind of running improv in a sense. You have to be a little more dynamic with that. And another thing I thought of that is useful when you're thinking about seasons and shows is character arcs. Now, these are going to be independent of the story season arcs, probably, or they can coincide, whatever, but you want to give everyone a spotlight, right? And so you can kind of plan out how these go along. Maybe one season you handle one character and then you plant the seeds for the others to come along. You gotta give everyone a spotlight. Everyone, deserves the chance to shine because they've agreed to make this thing with you. And I thought about it in D&D terms. It's the tiers of play, and what you can do with the tiers of play. Again, these aren't the free rules. Is this another point where you can spin the characters off into more threatening situations, or kind of change the arc of the party, if you will. So, tier 1 levels 1 to 4. Okay, now they're going to tier 2, which is levels 5 to 10. What's the change at level 4? They're at level 4, maybe an episode or two, or however you want to do your progression. What's the change now to the plot that makes everything larger, that takes them into level 5? And so you can do the same thing then at level 10. What's the change that takes them into level 11? And you can separate that however you want. If you want to do it, levels 1 to 3 and then 4 be a big change. Go on, but it's useful to have some sort of structure with what you're doing. And if you're in a game without levels, that's fine too. Maybe, the characters have points, so once they reach a certain, once all the characters have so many points built in their characters, maybe that's when you kind of change the arc of what they're doing, and that can also inform your story. That can line up with your season beats as well. But this way, you have your players involved, making choices with their characters and building their stories as you build your season. And how you combine all this is largely up to you, because there's multiple ways to do this. You can watch any actual play and then watch another one and see the differences between them. But yeah, I've been thinking about story a lot lately and how to do a show. And then, you make show notes as you're going around. Part of your show notes for that episode is what happens to this character. Does this happen for this character, or does it not? Does another thing happen to another character? And just add that in your notes for that episode that you're doing. And so you have a reference and to hit those beats. And then you can also add in, okay, how does this work with my plot beats? And it is a bit of work to kind of figure this out ahead of time. But if you do it ahead of time, you'll be better off in the future. And that, again, all this helps inform your world through the characters. And I wanted to talk a bit about world building as well, because there's advice to start small. I've seen this play in places. Start small. The village, kind of go from village to city to nation to country, that type of thing, and build out from there. So you kind of want a dual approach, right? You want sort of the big ideas of your world, what it looks like, where things kind of are in general, but that town doesn't need to be to the north. You don't have to mark it right now. That can be a season later, right? You want to get through your season, so start small. Where are the characters when they first meet each other? What's the village? What's the tavern? We meet in an inn, right? Do they have a base of operations? Are they gathered there because they all have special talents and they're selected for a mission? You can just work on developing what's needed for that episode and for that season. And then when other stuff is needed for next season, work on that. But don't make a whole world with everything defined right away, because that could take you a very long time and you'll never actually get a show done, because you'll have all this world building and you'll probably keep, world building can be very addictive. So think about that. Get some of the big ideas down, how your world works, what gods there are, that type of thing. And then when it comes to that village or place, start there, build it out, and you can scale it however it works for you. What are the big ideas you need, and then what are the small ideas that will help get through that first episode or that first season. And don't worry about everything on your world if it's a homebrew world. Just concern yourself with what's going to be necessary for that particular plot. So that's the talk on world building and characters.